that's the first song so far that hasn't necessarily vibed with me as much.
That's the first song so far that hasn't necessarily vibed with me as much.
Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Luscent Music, and today I am revisiting CHROMATICA. Back to CHROMATICA. Yeah, so it's been a month. Can you believe it? A lot has changed in the past month. I have listened to it a million times. I have watched interviews. I have read articles. And I think that we're about ready for a more in-depth look at the album and to see what's changed from my first reaction. If you want to check out that first reaction, it will be linked in the box. If not, then let's get going. We're going to go through song by song and we're going to play a game called Growers and Showers. Wink. So I'll be going through the songs and I'll be talking about which ones have grown on me, whereas which ones kind of stayed the same or haven't jumped out as much. So yeah, let's do it. Right, so first we have CHROMATICA 1 and Alice. So originally, my opinion of the song, I was like, this is interesting, but wasn't really what I was expecting from the beginning of the album. But I'm pleased to announce that this is one big grower. This one's grown on me so much, guys. Like, seriously. Every single time I listened to it, it got better and better. And the more I found out about the lyric, I was just fascinated. After listening to it a few more times, I kind of realised the meaning of the song and this metaphor of Alice trying to find Wonderland was Lady Gaga searching for this place where she could heal from her past trauma. And then in the context of the rest of the album, the whole album is this journey of emotional acceptance and dealing with her demons. It just really sits so beautifully as an opening song, talking about this person who is searching for this wonderland where she can finally come to terms with all of her demons and all of her emotions. It's so well written. And then that intro, like setting up the real kind of tone for the whole album, using CHROMATICA 1 as like this kind of grave string arrangement, really sets up the fact that it's going to be almost like an opera, almost like a movie playing out. So yeah, so it does an absolutely amazing job at setting up the whole album. I think my first kind of initial listen was a little bit surprised, so I didn't really connect with it right away, but like understanding this meaning is something I can really relate to, knowing that something's wrong and being ready to find a way to fix it. It's a very relatable thing for someone in their 20s, so I really connect to it so much more deeply than before. So next on the album are Stupid Love and Rain on Me, and because they were singles and I'd heard them before, I'm going to categorise these as showers, unfortunately, but that doesn't actually like take away from the fact that they are so good. They're still brilliant songs, but I'd already had time to get to know them a bit. And then next on the album was Free Woman. If you've seen my reaction to CHROMATICA, you will know that I had a very visceral, very instant reaction to the lyrics in Free Woman. And I'm pleased to say, actually, this song has grown on me even more. So it's a grower. Having read a lot of the comments on my previous video and having watched the full interview with Zane Lowe, being able to understand where the song has come from and why she wrote it, I've really found a deeper appreciation for it. So like the first verse is her walking the downtown as a new musician and kind of finding her way. And then the second verse takes part now. And it really shows her progression as a woman and her progression as an artist. In the Zane Lowe interview, she actually talked about how writing this song was her freeing herself from the trauma of being sexually assaulted. You're not nothing without a steady hand, and you're still something if you don't have a man. It's kind of like her telling herself these truths to kind of try and push herself past it. It's like a mantra for self-love. It feels like a really healing song. Knowing that context just gives the song so much more emotional richness, and it really allows me to empathize with her on such a deep level. And I think that's why the song has really grown for me. And now it's amongst one of my absolute favorite Gaga songs of all time. So fun tonight, I'd say this one is a shower. I still really enjoy it and I still really love the line, I can see it in your face, you don't think I pull my weight, maybe it's time for us to say goodbye, cause I really like how that melody flows and it really breaks out and it's really beautiful. Although I really enjoyed the song, it didn't really grow on me to a new level. So let's do it. This is what you've all been waiting for. CHROMATICA 2/911, let's talk about it. I know, my original reaction was like, this is a weird song, like, I don't get it.
hasn't necessarily vibed with me.
But now it's right up there. Like, seriously, like, oh my god. I mean, maybe it's all the memes, maybe it's just appreciating that drop after having listened to it a few times. Rest assured, I get it now. So, therefore, it's a grower. It was definitely one of those songs that on repeated listens, I really started to understand what the song was about and where it was coming from. Like the context of the interview and what people said in the comment section really gave me an idea of what the song was actually about. And I really started to appreciate it, especially when I looked at the lyrics. Now, the lyrics in this song are among the best on the album, I think. The delivery of the verse and the rhythm of the main melody are almost robotic, and I think maybe that turned me off originally, but now I'm really understanding that maybe it's an analogy for the pills that she's taking, almost limiting her emotional bandwidth, turning up the emotional faders, keep repeating self-hating phrases, having to use pills to dim your own emotions. It's almost like putting a compressor on your own emotions. Like, the lyrics are so poetic when you actually really get into it, and I love how it all ends up in the lyric, "Paradise is in my hands," imagining that pill that's in her hands that's gonna have this like theoretical paradise for her is such an interesting analogy, and having really delved into it and listened to this song a lot, I really appreciate it. And of course, we all know that transition is just amazing. It's so surprising and just like off the charts, isn't it? Let's be honest. Right, so next is Plastic Doll, Sour Candy and Enigma. I've grouped these all together because these ones are all showers for me. I appreciated all these songs on the initial listen, and I definitely enjoy listening to these songs, particularly Enigma, but they didn't necessarily reveal any more for me. I didn't really feel like I learnt as much on further listens, but obviously I still really like them. Honestly, there's not a song on this album I don't like. Cool, so let's talk about Replay. Grower, it's a grower, it's grown on me so much. Honestly, my first reaction, I definitely enjoyed the song. This one in particular had such a kind of gut-wrenching and really dark storyline that I didn't really pick up on originally, and that has really kind of fleshed out the song for me and has really made it like a real standout. Having watched the Chromatica interview, you find out that this is also related to Lady Gaga's trauma with sexual assault. Replaying the thoughts in her head is almost like her being stuck in this trauma loop, in this kind of panic response. And now we know that in Gaga writing this album, she was healing herself from these experiences. I think this song really gets down and deep into the psychology of where her head was at and how she was going to get out of it. So I think it's a really important song on the album for that. The most important lyric for me in this song is "You're the best thing and the worst thing that happened to me," because I think it really speaks to how much power these producers have over people. So if you haven't watched the interview, she revealed that she was sexually assaulted by a music producer, and I think in this lyric she's telling us that this music producer obviously helped her in her career in some way. This music producer probably had a lot of power in helping her out with her career, but obviously something happened to her and she had to suffer this horrible thing. So it's that two sides of the same coin. This person has helped her with her career but has also damaged her maybe irreparably. And so like this replay really kind of is situated around that, not being able to come to terms without this person. Maybe my career wouldn't have gone off like it has, but also like the emotional damage that person has caused me. How can both these things coexist? That kind of really reveals this song to be like 100% real and so dark and so much of an exploration of psychological trauma that I cannot understate how important this song is and how good it is as a piece of music. For me, the best music connects emotionally on a deeper level, and for these reasons, this song completely succeeds at that. When I was young, I prayed for lightning. So next is Chromatica 3 and Sine from Above. If you saw my original video, you would have seen that I had a very emotional response to this song. I think what makes this song good is the instantaneous connection that you can have with those lyrics. That when I was young I prayed for lightning paints such a beautiful picture straight away. But I have to say that it has grown on me quite a lot. It really is a grower and not a shower. I can't check. I think that learning that this song really sums up the entire process of emotional healing for Lady Gaga really makes this song stand out even more. So she describes it as hearing not seeing, but hearing this sign from above. It's kind of merging this idea of seeing a sign, like almost like a religious sign or a symbol, and being inspired and finding faith and healing from it. It's using that analogy, but to describe music. So a sine wave is the shape that sound takes as it travels towards you. You can manipulate that wave to create different sounds, but the basis of all sound is a sine wave. So to say I heard that sign, spelled S-I-N-E, from above, is really talking about how music was that almost that religious epiphany for her, and how it saved her. And it really sums up the process of the entire album itself. She talked about this a lot in the interview with Zane Lowe. Like she says, the music saved her. Also, I have to mention one amazing little detail that I heard after a few listens, and that was that in Chromatica 3 there's a sample of like a rumble of thunder, and then when the song starts, she's there praying for lightning. It gives me chills. Honestly, that gives me chills. Just the thought of that. I just think it's absolutely amazing sonic storytelling that is just above and beyond. And it's not the kind of thing you hear on a first listen, but when you actually do hear that, it's just brilliant. Like the thought of hearing thunder and waiting for the lightning to flash. That's what everybody does. You hear thunder in the background, you hear the rumble, and you're like, oh, okay, how far is it away? Let's count until the flash of lightning. And that's what she's doing. At the beginning of the song, she's standing there and she's praying for that lightning to come. She's heard the thunder and she's waiting for the lightning. Oh, it's just amazing. Like, I can't cope. Nah. It might be the best thing ever. It was followed by 1,000 Doves, and I'd say this one is a grower, but not a huge grower. It's definitely grown on me slightly from hearing the piano ballad version. I did a reaction to the deluxe tracks on Chromatica, and hearing the 1,000 Doves piano version, it really let me hear the lyrics properly. For me, it developed into an even more beautiful song because I could really hear what she was saying, and the fact that it could stand on its own without all the production really proved to me that it was a really special song. So yeah, I'd say that one grew on me as well. And now the final song of the album, Babylon. Babylon. This is kind of not really a grower, but not really a shower. I'm going to say this is a potential grower. Although I don't think this song has necessarily grown on me that much, I do think that it's very much inspired by voguing culture. It's inspired by Vogue by Madonna, but also by New York voguing culture. And I feel like when we get into the club, when I can actually finally go back to a club and actually have a good night out and hear Babylon in the club, I think it will connect to me even more. And I think I'll really start to appreciate that song for what it is. So that's why I'm saying it has potential. Right, so overall, I have so much I could say about Chromatica. I think it's just a really well put together album. Over the past month, it's really revealed itself to be such an honest, deep and artistic album. And this journey of self-healing through music is just so beautiful and so poetic. It plays out like a movie, you know? It was so moving even on its first listen, but it continues to be even more engaging and even more moving the more I understand the album and the more I listen to it. Like, my relationship with the album is developing, and like over the years I'm looking forward to seeing if it really becomes the same kind of connection I have with art pop and with Born This Way and with Joanne. But to see whether it's my favourite Gaga album of all time, you have to wait for another video. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I've really appreciated the support I've had so far. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you think I've missed about these songs that you could add. I absolutely love reading all everybody's comments and seeing what everyone's opinions on all the different songs are. Were there any songs that really grew on you that you didn't necessarily like in the beginning? Yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll be replying to everything, so get on it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm looking at putting out around 2 videos every week, really diving into pop music and really kind of trying to understand where these songs are coming from through reactions and analyses, top 10s, all that kind of stuff. So subscribe if you're interested. Thanks again. Bye.